Disney Cruise Lines has a Star Wars computer and the Millennium Falcon. So if you change that to Spanish, I'm the voice of the Millennium Falcon. Oh, wow. It's so cool. That's it.
How do you think your journey as a person has shaped you as a voiceover actress today?
I was born in Cuba, and my parents decided that they were going to escape, because you don't leave Cuba, you escape. So you have to ask for permission to leave on vacation to a different country when they're having good relations with that country. So at first we asked for Spain, they said no. The next one was Angola, they said no. The third one was Panama. This is through years of asking, this year, baby, please go and visit Spain. No, you can't. The third one was Panama. So my family in Florida, paid off people, and we got the visas, and we went on vacation. We had to pack like we were leaving on vacation, so no pictures, nothing. We left everything behind. And we flew to Panama. And in Panama, there were 2 buildings in the city of Panama that they were housing all the Cubans. So it kind of felt like it was still kind of home. And the Panamanian people are amazing. They put me in school. I was there for a year and a half. We were supposed to be there for a week, and we ended up staying for a year and a half because the visas from the US never came. So my family, again, in Florida, mi tia Fefa, started trying to look for ways to get into the United States. So she paid coyotes after coyotes, and they all took the money and ran. And I think the 7th one, lucky number 7, said, okay, I'll take you in. So we flew from Panama to Mexico. We drove through the border, tiny little town, I barely remember the name. And we were not supposed to have the names of anybody there, the people that helped us along. And at midnight, the family that were making the cross, the father inflated a raft, and they put us inside the raft, and they sent us across the Rio Grande. And then we were like hiding from little bush to little bush, and then there was a light in the distance, and it was like click, 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 click. We had a flashlight, and they had a Toyota pickup truck. Things you remember as a child, it was a Toyota pickup truck, and we all laid down like this in the back of the Toyota pickup truck, and came to the United States. We crossed in McAllen, Texas, and got caught at the airport. And because we were Cuban and we were under political asylum, we were given parolees and social security cards and all that. You could work and pay taxes. You can't leave the country because otherwise you can't go back. So we're like, okay, we can live with that. And the minute that Clinton signed the NACARA law, my entire family went and applied for residencies, and then 5 years later for citizenship. My husband actually helped me study for my citizenship. I know, he's so cute. Because he's really, he's super smart, and he knows, he's political buff and history buff. And he knew all the answers to all the questions. So I was like, okay, you're helping me study. And I got 100% on my test, by the way.
Wow.
On the 9th question, because they ask you have a written test and a oral test, and then they ask you 10 questions. And on the 9th question, in my head, I was like, oh my God, I'm in, I'm totally in. So the last question was, who freed the slaves? And I said, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin. And he goes, who freed the slaves? Wait, scratch that, Abraham Lincoln. But I was so excited that I knew I was in.
Thank you. Oh boy, I feel all comfy. And I'm following you.
Stairs?
Okay.
It's not summer yet. It's not summer yet.
It looks great.
And look at, well, maybe we don't get the bottom part.
Is that the salt?
Yes. But I want to go in with my shoes. You're so funny. And we're not getting that, right?
Well, we're getting it all.
Okay, so I'm going to turn on the light.
Oh, wow.
So when my husband is using the studio, guess where I record? an hour. It depends.
So tell me, when you do a session like, for instance, the Millennial Falcon, was that one session? Is it a long session? How
Millennial Falcon?
I can't say the word.
Millennial.
Millennium. See, I'm not a Star Wars.
Can you imagine the Millennial Falcon? Dude. I'm a huge space freak.
Yes, I see
and sci-fi.
that.
Oh my lord. Everything I watch. is
So,
sci-fi.
so tell me about, like, for instance, give me an idea of like what a session at Disney Imagineering is like when you go in.
The way it goes is they pick you up and they give you, because you can't get in Disney at all. It's very hush hush. You can't even take pictures there. They give you the little, you give in your ID and they give you the tag, and then they walk you back. As you're walking back, you're seeing all this great stuff and like photos and items and stuff, and I'm there. So Brian is walking in front of me and I'm walking like this. Hi, I am at Disney. That's usually how it begins. Then we go into the studio and they show you the reference of either the audition or the stuff I've done before, like keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times. And that's it, we go from there. They're quick and they're fantastic and they're very detailed. Like they're very specific about a lot of things because they, you know, it's Disney. It's the top of the top. I mean, whenever you go in there, everything is great. Everything's specific, it's detailed. Except for one time. This one time I get copy and I'm looking at it going, Brian, do you, is this the final copy? Because you have to be a little careful. Is this the final copy? Yeah, Yeni, what is it? Spit it out. I'm like, this word over here is, it's a bad word in Spanish. And I can say this story because he already said it at D23. Otherwise, I would be like,
Right.
The copy that they had sent down had the word mariquita. Now, mariquita could be a lot of different things. In Puerto Rico, mariquita is a little flying bug. For Cubans, and Disney is in Orlando, filled with Cubans, mariquita means it's a diminutive for a gay person. So you don't want that at Disney because all these Cubans are going to be making fun of it.
That's hysterical.
Can you imagine?
No.
That
You
would've been
saved
all over the
them.
vlogs.
That's right. Oh my God, that's amazing. You are so on top of it.
Sometimes. It's Hialeah! Which, by the way, that's where I went to school. I went to Hialeah High. And that's where I pretty much grew up in Miami before I left to New York. It was Hialeah, baby. I'm gonna put Hialeah on the map.
Yeni, how many attractions have you voiced for Disney Imagineering?
I'm in Little Mermaid. I'm in Small World, Little Mermaid. The one with the cars. Now Rosita, which is the exciting one.
Yes,
I
yes.
get to be a parrot.
Hola, soy Rosita. Welcome to the Tropical Hideaway. You lucky people, you. Would you all mind if I worked on my scales? I must keep my voice in top-notch shape. Me, 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 me. G, 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 G. Fee, 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 fee. Ah!
Oh, which, by the way, I'm the very first true Latina in the parks. Because all the other characters from the Tiki Room were Caucasian men doing the accents. And now Disney is going towards more authenticity. So they booked me for the role of Rosita, and she's a Cuban parrot, and she speaks English with my accent.
So what did they do did they have you come in and audition?
Yes, actually I auditioned from my studio here at the house because I wanted to play with a character. So I wanted to give them, I think I gave them 3 different ones. And I played with the accent a lot, and I played with her a little more subdued because she was a showgirl. So she was like a Las Vegas showgirl, but for Disney. And she flew the coop. She left, what was the other parrot's name, the guy? I don't remember, but she left him behind. And there's a bunch of jokes in there that she says, if somebody sees him, you tell him I'm traveling the world without him. So she's sassy. She's great.
That's great.
They didn't know what nationality she was going to be. But then when I came in and they decided that, let's make it very authentic, and she's Cuban. I'm like, I am so good with that. Let's put Cuba in the map. Let's have a Cuban at Disney, because in It's a Small World, they have all the nationalities. They have the entire world. I don't think they have a Cuban in It's a Small World. I looked for one. I looked for a Cuban in It's a Small World.
They need to remedy that.
Yeah, so now they do. They have a Cuban at Disney.
Oh, it's so good.
And she's a parrot.
And so she's in the tiki room. I've never gone in the tiki room. Have you been in the tiki room?
I did a long time ago, and I love the tiki room. I love the song. Rosita hums the song from the tiki room. And what I haven't done, which I want to do, is have, what is that called? The Dole Whip. I'm dying to have it. So now you don't have to wait in line to go to the tiki room to have it. You can have it at the Tropical Hideaway, which is a little restaurant in between the tiki. It used to be a passageway, and there was really nothing going on there that I remember. So now they turned it into this great restaurant where you can, it drops off from the Jungle Cruise. So I actually talk to the people in the Jungle Cruise, and I talk to the people at the restaurant. So it's in between, so you can sit down after the Jungle Cruise and have your Dole Whip there. You don't have to wait in line. So there's only like 2 places that you can have it in Disneyland.
That's right, and it's famous, the Dole Whip.
Yeah.
So Rosita is at the cafe?
Yes, it's called the Tropical Hideaway.
Okay.
And it's an outdoor tiki-ish cafe.
Here's a joke for the skippers out there. What do you call an elephant in the boathouse? Huh? Anyone? Stuck! Oh, hello!
She's so pretty.
I'm Anita. Who's my girl? Who's my baby? You're my baby. You're my baby girl.
What is it beyond talent and training, let's just assume, do you feel a person needs to book work and keep working? What's that ingredient?
I think, one, you have to be very aware of the trends. Like, what's going on in the industry that you could be good for. For example, a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, I would have never auditioned for an English commercial with my accent. 2 years ago, that was different. So I'm now the voice of Goya in Spanish and English. I'm the voice of Corona Refresca in Spanish and English. And also, you have to keep learning. Like, I still take classes because there's always something you can learn. You never know everything. Personally, I concentrate on what I like and what I'm good at. So you have to find that little combination. What are you good at, and what do you love doing? And if that matches up, perfect. I really do love commercials. I do. And I book a lot of commercials. That's what I book the most. So I concentrate on that. I concentrate on booking work. When I get the audition, I know when I'm perfect for something, and I know when something is really not for me. And a lot of the times you have to let those go, because where you put most of the energy, you can put energy in something that something that you don't love, and then you get it and you're like, okay, fine, I got it, and it's work. You put energy into something that you love, and that it's no longer work, it's fun.
Yeah.
All my Disney stuff, I jump to go do the Disney things. Whenever I hear, oh, Yeni, they're gonna have you back again. I've been doing it since, I think, 2000. And still, every time I hear, oh, I'm doing something else for Disney, it's like, oh my God, how could you not want to do that? It thrills me to no end. The first time I auditioned for Disney Imagineering, I did, I think, 10 rides on my very first day. And it was all the, keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times. That's very normal. To me, it was like, I'm thrilled to be part of Disney, part of the Disney family. And, little kids hear it all the time, and they remember. And the first time I did D23, the big Disney Expo, this little girl came up to me, and I have the video, I'll send it to you. This little girl came up to me and she said, I learned Spanish because of you. And she recited the entire thing back to me.
Por favor, mantenga sus manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Y por favor, cuelgue sus pequeñitos. Gracias.
You don't know it, but you make an impact. People remember that. I have another story. I have this friend who's an extremely talented actress and dancer. And when she met her boyfriend, they go to Disney all the time. They've seen Rosita so many times already, and she just came out. I haven't seen her yet. And her boyfriend told her that when he's a musician, and he was working a cubicle job, and he was miserable. And he lived really close to Disney, so what he would do on his lunch break, he would get in the car, go to Disney and ride the tram at the parking thing to listen to my voice, because that was his happy moment.
Su seguridad, favor de permanecer sentados con las puertas cerradas, manteniendo sus manos, brazos, pies y piernas adentro mientras el tranvía está en movimiento. Y vigilen a sus niños. Gracias.
I love that.
It's, to me, when I heard that, I was like, I'm still tearing up. You don't know what impact you have when people hear you.
Yeah.
And to hear something like that, it's like, wow. I'm glad I was a little part of that. And
Yeah.
now he's happy. I mean, they're super happy. They just bought a house. But it's those things. What do you do to pull yourself up? What do you do to make yourself happy? Where's your happy moment? And if your happy moment happens to coincide with what you do for a living, even better. It's kind of like you're coming out of a box. So what are you going to do? You're going to go for it. You're going to jump out of the box, and you're going to find what you love and your passion and follow that, and nobody can tell you no. There's a Cuban saying that I love. It's like, dime que no. Tell me no and watch me. And that's kind of a driving force. I guess you can call it perseverance. But when a door closes, open a window, there's no window, you make a window. You make a hole through that wall and you go. So basically, it's given me drive, because my parents brought me to this country so I could have a life, so I could make of myself what I wanted, so I could have freedom of expression, of religion, of basically anything, which we didn't have back then. And I'm not gonna let them down. You know, they did all that for a reason. You gotta make it count. So that just makes me follow through. That makes me go for things that I want. And everything that I've pretty much decided I wanted to do with my career, I've done. I moved to LA when I was 26. My first audition was for a show called Los Beltran, and I booked my first audition right out of the gate. And it was for a TV show that was was produced by Sony Columbia TriStar, and was on for 2 years. So my very first audition, I landed a sitcom. And after that, I was looking at my bank account. I was looking, acting on camera. This is when all the reality TV was coming in. I'm not going to be Baby Boo Boo or whoever that was back then. This is when reality TV was coming in, and I'm looking at my bank account going, on camera, voiceovers. I'm doing voiceovers to pay for my own camera stuff. The math doesn't add up. So I kind of slowly stopped doing on camera. And I also realized it's a completely different world, because on camera, I missed out on a lot, because you're waiting for a big part, and you kind of have to pay for a ticket to Miami to see your family, and it's like, okay, I'll go next week, and I'll go next week. So I missed out on a couple of things, and I was like, I can't do that. I can't miss out on being with my family for acting, which is living somebody else's life. I want to live my own life. And voiceover gives me that freedom. Especially when your family is 3,000 miles away and you're like, I need my Miami time. I need to go back to Hialeah and see my little sister, see my family. And you need that. I don't know what it is, but if I'm here at the 4-month mark, I'm already like, okay, I gotta go.
You gotta recharge.
Yeah, gotta recharge. New York City does that for me too. I lived in New York City for 2 years, and it was like, God, I love that city. I get any excuse to go back.
Where's your husband from?
He's a Chicago boy.
Okay.
So he loves Chicago, and we have this thing like Chicago pizza, no, New York pizza. Chicago, no, New York. So he'll never move to New York. I want a penthouse in New York City. He'll never move to New York.
So does my daughter, Francesca. She wants a penthouse in New York City. She's
Who
17.
doesn't? Oh, she's 17? Oh my gosh. Who doesn't? No, down. I'm not gonna pet you right now. Down. I'm not petting you right now. Down. Good girl. Stay.
Aww, she's so cute.
She's the sweetest thing in the world.
How old is she?
She's 8.
8 years old.
Baby.
Yenny, if you were shipwrecked on a desert island, all your basic needs were taken care of, like food and water, and I put sunscreen because that's super important. What 2 items would you have to have with you?
Oh shit! The coffee! Okay, so what would I need? My husband, my family. It comes down to the people I want to spend my life with. It doesn't come down to things, because everything you can... You know what? You want food? There's fish. Go fishing. Figure it out. Sushi every day. I'm happy with that. Coconuts. There's probably coconuts in that. I would need a way to open the coconuts.
Okay. You've got it covered then. You've got
I
it.
want good people around me and a way to open the coconuts, because everything else, gravy. No, syrup, because everybody loves syrup.
So this one's about you specifically. What motivates you to tackle each day in your VO career? What's your guiding light?
I don't know that it used to be. I think when I was in my 20s, I was like, you spring out of bed and you're like, yes, I'm gonna tackle today. And then later on, it kind of becomes like, what do I have to do today? I don't know that I spring out of bed anymore, but life is good. And life is what you make it. When you wake up in the morning, you decide, am I gonna be happy or am I gonna be worried and upset about what life throws my way? What do they say? When I choose to be happy. When life, what do they say? When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade?
Yes.
You know what? It's not about the lemons, it's what you make with it. So you wake up and you have a choice. And why not choose to be happy? And just whatever it is, if it's voiceover, if it's acting on camera, if it's whatever work it is, if you love it, it's not work. It's fun.